Thought I was done because I set the record? Try again. Welcome back to Good Sports For You, where we're talking about good sports for you. We're back, and we're playing higher or lower career war once again. Let's look at the leaderboard, see if anybody's topped me. Oh! No! Whoops! Sorry about it, we're back. Because they know they can't stop me, we're going for 100. We're going for 100. You know what I really want is I really want like Trevor Hoffman, Edwin Diaz walkout, Mariano Rivera, Sandman, Hell's Bells, bong, bong. And also, my name's Trevor Hoffman. That'll be so elite. Trevor time. I have a Trevor time shirt. I need to wear it next time. Before we start, R.I.P. Dolly Parton, truly a legend, Tennessee legend. Obviously, I went to the University of Tennessee. People who don't have any experience in Tennessee don't realize, like, Dolly is obviously a nationwide icon, a global icon. In Tennessee, she is beyond any celebrity that you can think of anywhere else. Like, Giannis in Milwaukee pales in comparison to what Dolly is in East Tennessee. So I wanted to say that. RIP to a legend. Okay, let's get into it right away. Don Drysdale, we know he's in the 60s. Cesar Cedeno's in the 50s. We know that for a fact. Start off good. I haven't played in a bit. We know this. We know I haven't played in a bit, but I'm still feeling good. Freddie Garcia, we know, is in the 30s. That's light. Wes Farrell, he's got to be higher. Come on, 60. Let's go. If you haven't checked out my Connect the Players, my most recent one, that one was the most fun I've ever had on a Connect the Players. Be sure to check that out. Evan Longoria, 58. Boop. That's too easy. Tim Keefe, we know, is high up. 80s? 86.9. That's light. I'm feeling good early. Ed Roush. He was going to be my connection, actually, to the Players. So I've been looking at his page a lot recently. He's in the Hall of Fame. Played with the Reds for a long time. Scott Rowland, 70.1, easy. Okay, George Burns, probably lower. Yep, 39. Yep. Greg, I'm not really familiar. I've seen you before, Greg. I'm going to go Greg. Shouldn't have gone Greg. I mean, to start off with a 10, it's like that's okay. Vic Willis? To start off with a 10 is fine. It's not great. I mean, that's a 10th of where we want to end up today. I'm not going to be, if we get anything less than a 10, like, I will be very disappointed. Unless it's one that's going to be like, ooh, like that. It's like, I can't be upset at that. That's so close, you know? Willie Randolph, potential Hall of Famer? I need to look at his BR, honestly, because I still believe that, 61 for Shoeless Joe? 62, okay. That top 10 MVP voting, the more and more that I've thought about it, and the more that I've looked into it, I'm like, that's actually, Chuck Finley, I know, is high. Is he 51 high? He's 57 high. Okay. But the more and more I've looked into it, I'm like, that's like kind of a good arbitrary number. We know Kenny Lofton is high, but we know where Archie Vaughn is. We know where Archie Vaughn is. Come on. Okay. Start off with a good one, then had a couple of rough ones there. Dude, John Clarkson. Yeah, John Clarkson. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with your game, man. Kenny Lofton, we know, is higher. Get Kenny Lofton into the Hall. Harold Baines, shout-out Hall, pretty good as always. Kevin Brown is high. Yeah, I was going to say, he's really high. He's not as high as Kenny Lofton, but he's high up for sure. Hugh Duffy, 43. Rodney Allen, 77.4. Yeah. Yep, that's free. Pete Rose, 79.1? 79.6, okay. We were in the range. Rube, we know, is low. I really want to make a long-form video. Ed Walsh, maybe one of the most underrated pitchers of all time, the career leader in all-time ERA and all-time FIP. Like, genuinely, actually one of the best ever. Jimmy Fox for 2. There's 1, and there's 2. I got a really good video idea that I'm cooking up that's going to be like a long video, and it's going to have a lot of research. Basically about how Chipper Jones, give me 85, yeah. There was Frank Freshy, I think his name is something like that. He may pop up in this, honestly. he got a lot of basically his buddies into the Hall of Fame. And you look at some of their WAR totals, that was way closer than I was letting on. Holy smokes. You look at some of their WAR totals and you look at stuff like that and you're like, this guy should not be in the Hall of Fame. Like, we're talking, I think Bid's in. Bid, you got me. Like, we're talking guys who are like low 30s. This is going to be close because red is low for Hall of Famer. Okay. Like low 30s, high 20s. For some of these guys, like never been an all-star type guys, like that's who we're talking about, who Frankie basically greased the wheels for them to get in because he was in charge of the Veterans Committee. Okay, but that's enough yapping. We're locking in now. Jason Schmidt's lower than Bob Lemon. We know that. Jason Schmidt's in the 20s, which makes me feel good about the other. Ricky Henderson for 2. There's 1. And there's 2. Shout out Ricky, dude. Like... maybe my favorite player ever. Cap Anson, I'm going to give him 2 because there's 94.3 right there. There's 1 and there's 2. Cy Seymour, 40s. Yep, 40.5. Okay. We're getting back in the flow. Tom Glavine, high 60s? 80s, right. I always get him and Smoltz confused. Can't do that. Tom Seaver for 2. There's 1. And there's 2. That's a free 2 for Jim Edmonds. I don't like Jim Edmonds in that spot, though, because I know Jim Edmonds is at 60. This is close. See, I wish we had Joe over here. I'm not familiar with your game, Joe. I'm going Jim. There we go. That was close. We take that, though. Deacon White, I think, is 45.5. 45.5. I was just looking at Deacon's page earlier. He was like one of the great first catchers. Veda Blue. 41. 41.8, low key. 45.1. Okay, we live. Ernie, I think he's at 37, right? Yeah, 37.8. We like that spot for you, Ernie. I'm just like, are we getting into the numbers game? I'm going Jerry. Should have gone Ernie. Okay, started it off, dude. I thought that was going to be a rush, or a wash, if I'm being honest. Henry Aaron for 2. There's 1. And there's 2. And for those of you who don't know about the free 2, that's basically like once a guy gets so high up, I have a very good idea of everyone in that range. So I feel pretty confident. Like, if I get Hank Aaron, I know that Willie Mays is higher than him, and I know that basically no one else is. So, or like Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds. It's like those are the guys that I have a good sense of. Dude, Dizzy Dean, I think is lower. Dude, oh my gosh. Okay, we're starting off with some close ones. I need a 2 just for like a confidence boost in here. Babe Herman was low. I think he's in the 30s still. Dude, 39.6. We are having so many close calls. Sammy Sosa, okay, that's not a close call. We know Sammy Sosa is higher. Dude, and then we get like Tony. I don't think Tony ever cracked 60. Not even close. Oh, man. Some of these ones early. Okay, thank you, Wade. Okay, I just needed a breather. I needed a breather because Wade will put me right. Ed Walsh, got me there. Okay. Bob Lemon, we know, is lower. We know that's lower, Bob. The good news is we got a lot of those guys out of the way early. A lot of those guys who are going to be living in that low areas where we're going to be struggling with in the mid 40s, in the 30s, 40.1 for Ryan Zimmerman. We know that. So glad we got those guys out of the way first. But then we get like Jim Whitney, dude. I don't know. 56 for Jim. Okay. Jose Rio we know that's lower. Trevor Hoffman, we know is lower. 28. Yeah. Because General Crowder we just had. And he was like 27, right? That is so close. Okay. Dude, I need a confidence booster here. Like, Tommy, man, like, you're not the confidence booster I need. Like, you're lower, but, like, I need somebody that I'm like. Gary Carter, 70.1. Okay. Need that. Need to feel good about myself, Okay, we're a quarter of where we want to be. 36.8, okay. Rube Waddell, we know is higher. Yeah, 58, yeah. Shout out, man. That was scary. That was scary. Jim Perry is lower. Yeah, he's in the 40s. We know that. We know that. Dick Allen is higher. That's in the 50s for sure. Yep, 58.8. Come on. Steve Carlton. Honestly, that may be a free... that's real close to the line for a free two, but it's against Bernie Williams. We know that that's higher. 49.6. Yep. Yep. No. Oh my gosh, I almost clicked Ed. It's Bernie. I almost clicked Ed. I almost accidentally clicked Ed. I know it's Bernie. Oh my gosh. Dude, I think Early Combs is lower. 45 even. Okay. George Gore, we know is 39.9. Good spot for you, George. Roger Hornsby for 2. That's what we needed right there. Because there's 1. Crap. And then this is the issue. These guys are... I think that Tris Speaker's 131. Or he could be 113. The numbers are dancing in my head like a symphony. Like a ballet. I'm going Tris for 131. That's the hope. 134. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, that has to be... I don't even know why I was thinking. Obviously, that's Tris Speaker. Yeah. That just like scared me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jamie Moyer, 49.6. Yeah. Or 49.8. Yep. John we know is lower. Yep. Dan Heron is lower for sure. 35, yep. Dude, like Bob, man. I'm going Bob. 47.1. Thank you, Bob. I'm going Bob again. Sherry! 43 is good. It would place us top 5 in the month. I'm running it again. Eddie Matthews to start us off. We love to see it. Actually, we don't, because it's Eddie Matthews and Jake Peavy where we feel very confident about where both of them are. Milwaukee legend Eddie Matthews, dude, he was so good. Okay, we're going to run a couple more, I figure so. And then we're going to be done. Like 43 is good, man. But I'd like to crack 50 today for sure. Bullet Rogan, I think, is higher. Oh, Bullet Rogan's way higher, dude. He was so good. Fred Clark, that may do me in. Yeah, Fred Clark, man. Those guys, they get me. They get me. We do not love this early. We know where Ichiro is. We know where George Brett is. We do not love that early. Kid Nichols, again, we don't love early. We'll take the free 2 any day of the week, but we don't love it. We don't love it. At all. Like, at all. Dude. Okay. I'm going Dean playing the numbers game. Okay. Honestly, I feel like that's good luck. Okay, 56? Yep. Okay. Let's lock in. I'm too lackadaisical. That's my issue. Babe Ruth for 2. I don't love Babe here again. This is like, I want to see Babe way later in the game. But we'll take it for Babe. Berto Clemente, 95. Yep. Right there. And Henry, I don't like 2 of my goats, man. I don't want to see them facing off against each other because I know where you are. Like Bob Ewing, I'm okay with you going against Henry Aaron. Veda Blue, that would have been a perfect spot for you to go against somebody else, you know? So that's okay. But it's like, I want those guys later down the line when I'm fighting. Addy Joss just had a Forgotten Fridays about him, dude. What a tragic story. Adrian Beltre, man, dude. Whew. He's really good. He was really good. probably, like, honestly, got to be one of the more underappreciated players of our generation, man. Okay. Okay. Bob for a free 2, honestly. Yep. Jim Bunning, 59. Tony is in the 40s. We know that. We know that for Tony. 47.6. Dude, Adonis Terry. I've had Adonis before, like way back. And I think that he's like low, even though his name makes it sound like he would be a lot higher. He's not. Goose Gosselin, we know, is higher. Yeah, he's in the 60s. Hall of Famer. Jack McDowell's lower. For sure. We can play the numbers game with Jack, I think. Yep, because Milt's in the 40s. Milt's in the 40s. Okay. Bob Feller's higher. 60s? 63.4, yep. Kevin Millwood's, yeah. 20s, 20s. We feel good about that. We feel good about that. I'm playing the numbers game here. I gotta. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Tim Keefe's 86. 86.9, yep. Dizzy Dean, we know, is in the 40s. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, come on. Ken Boyer's in the 60s, dude. Get Ken in the hall, man. He won an MVP. Wade Boggs is in the 90s. Yep, 91.4. See, and now it's like, at this moment, I'm like, let's get a Hank Aaron. Where I can feel really good about where I'm at. You know? Bill Dickey was higher, right? Yep, 56.4. Dude, it's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm going Richie. Okay, shouldn't have been worried. But some of these guys that it's just like, dude. We know you're in the 60s, Smoltz. 69, okay. But like some of those guys that it's just like a generic black and white picture of a white guy, I'm like, dude, I'm struggling to find you. Roger Clemens for 2. 2. There we go. Yep. Thank you, Roger. That's it. Yeah, that's exactly where you want to be with Roger, man. Like somebody, I'm comfortable with where you are. Ipa's in the, 55. Alan Trammell's in the 70s. Yeah. Luis Gonzalez in the 50s? Yep. Okay. Come on now. Bobo, man. Okay. Scared me for a second. We know Ted Simmons is 50. Yep. Okay. Pedro's in the 80s. Yep. Right there. Fergie's, I think, he's in the 80s. I know that for sure. I think he's high 80s. I thought he was 89. Chipper Jones is 85. And here's how I know that, because I said he was 85 before, and my high score right now is 85. So I looked back at that 85, and I was like, yeah, you're there, Chipper. Hippo, I think, is higher. Okay. We like that spot, Hippo. Jack, dude, I don't know. Jack! I'm going with Bobby Bonds. I know he's like, yeah, okay. I was like, I know that he's at least kind of high when it's like the other guy. Charlie, we know, is in the 80s. Okay. So like I said, we're having one more good one. And I'm talking 20, 25 plus. Okay, Augie, come on. Amos, man, I have no idea. Like, shout out, but dude, it's again, Cy Young, that's like Cy Young, that's as free as you can get, honestly. Like, that is no worries about Cy Young. Ted Williams is another one. I don't want to see Ted and Cy at this point in the game. I want to see you late. Where were you when we were in the 50s fighting for our top spot? Where were you then? You didn't show up. That's when we needed you, Ted. And he didn't show up. I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. Let's go Birds, fly Eagles, fly. I'm not an Eagles fan. It's just an iconic video I'm referencing. Okay. Jimmy, you had me scared. Jimmy Sheckard, 49.5. We know Luis is in the 60s. We know that. We know that. Al, dude, for all I know, Al could have been way up there. Al Orth, 51.3. We know Ryan Zimmerman. We know you're at 40.1. Orlando Cepeda's in the 50s. Way lower than I always think for him. Way lower than I always think. 50.1 for Cepeda. We know where Jim Perry's at. He's got a distinctive face, man. I know where Jim Perry's at. Okay, come on. Roy Thomas, we just had 40.7 for Roy Thomas. That's brutal, man. I'm getting in my head right now. I gotta get out of the head. Roy Thomas, you keep showing up. Roy, get off my screen, Roy. I don't want to see ya. I'm sure you were a nice guy. You're 40.7 more, though. At least it's going to be stuck in my head forever. Red Ruffing, we know is a Hall of Famer. I don't think his WAR is that high, though. His WAR is high. Was I thinking of the other Red Sean Deist? Bobby Grich, we know is high. Not in the Hall, but we know he's high. Barry Zito's low. Yeah, he's stung me before. John Smoltz is 69. Again, I don't want to see those guys this early. I know where you are, John. Lou Boudreau, 63.1. Yep, come on. Come on. Scott Rowland, 70.1. Again, I don't want to see you, Scott, when I'm at 6. I don't want to see you, Gaylord Perry. We know you're 90. You've been telling the whole world you're 90. I don't want to see you there. Good spot for Larry French. Good spot for James Shields. Good spot for Larry Doby. Good spot for Doug Drabeck. Decent spot for Jim Edmonds. 60.4, yeah. Bill Terry, 56.6 for Bill. Come on, man. That's brutal. Thank goodness I got it. It was like looking in a mirror with the of those guys. I don't look like them at all, obviously. But that is... Jason Schmidt, we know you're lower. We know you're lower. Dwight Gooden, we know you're higher. 53 for Dwight. Willie Wells is lower. Willie Wells is lower. Wes is higher, I think. Yeah, 60.1 for Wes. Willie Mays. Okay. I'm happy with Willie there. I'm very happy with Willie there. Veda Penson, yeah, that's a decent spot for you, Veda. Joe Mauer's in the high 50s, 55.6. Okay, still passing grade. So, a couple of close ones for Joe. Brett Saberhagen's what, 57? 58.9. Yep, okay. Darrell Evans is high. I think he's 57. 58.7. Okay. Tim Salmon is lower. We know that. Freddie Garcia is lower. We know that. Okay. Chuck Finley's 57.1. 57.9, dude. He's way up there. Jack Powell is 55.4. 55.3. Okay. Adrian Beltre, 93. Okay, we needed an Adrian Beltre to feel good. Archie Vaughn, 77.9. Don't love you there, Archie, because I know your WAR like the back of my hand. It's got to be you. Okay, Bobby. Jake. Ryan Zimmerman, 40.1. Like that spot for you, Ryan. Like that spot for you, Zim. Tony Perez, 53. 53.9, okay. Evan Longoria, 58. 58.9. Okay. Yaz, good spot for you, 96.4. Like that for Yaz. Omar Vizquel, get him off my screen, man. Henry Aaron to get rid of Omar. That could not have gone any better. Could not have gone any better. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Hank. Okay. Good spot for you, Johnny. Mordecai Three-Finger Brown we know is higher, yeah. 58. Pete Browning, that was close, man. Cueto, I don't think cracked 40. Yeah, 36.3. Willie Davis is high. Yeah, 60.8. Doc White, we know, is in the 50s. High 50s for Doc. Or high 40s for Doc, my apologies. Bob Elliott was kind of high, right? Yeah, 50.9, okay. Cy Seymour's like 40.7, 40.5, okay. Waino and Chris Carpenter. I think Carpenter's 35. I think Wainwright's above 40. He's 45, okay. John is lower, right? 41.9, okay. Whew, that was way closer than I was leading on. Donnie? Okay. John McGraw's higher, right? That was way closer than I was letting on. Holy smokes. Theodore Bernstein, we know, is in the 50s. Yep, 50.6. Frank is high. Yeah, Frank is high, 57.1, okay. Murray Willis is lower. Willis. There's no I. Earl, I think, is higher, man. No, Earl! Goodbye, Earl. Dang, okay, we had some really good ones today. For those of you who know, that other one, that it was me on my personal account that I was playing before I started filming. So that would have been the third best in the month. All time, it would have placed us... It would have placed us top 5. Yeah. Alrighty. That's probably going to be it. I'm not going to lie, but that was really fun. I had a good one. I'm not thrilled with where I got, but it was good. We'll be back. My next video, I won't lie, is probably going to be something that's going to be just me talking ball. I really want to go over the MVP race with Shohei and PCA. It's so good. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Not where we wanted to end up today, but we're working on it. We're working on it for sure. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and I'm out. Peace.